Hello, today we're going to work with conditionals, and this is something that you started working with last year. And here in this first picture, you have the most common word to introduce conditionals. You know this word, there is no doubt about it. But there are other words that we can use to do that job. Which words? So, for example, unless, when. Okay, we are going to work with unless and when, unless and if most of the time, the majority of times. Okay, so let's start with the conditionals. And let's start with those that you already know. The first conditional that we have is zero conditional. Well, you know that zero conditional, it's used to express that whenever I have a condition, I always have that result. Always have that result. That's because we use it for facts. A fact is something that, you know, it's always like that. It's always like that. Always like that. And it's also used for, well, to express things usually related to nature, like let's call it natural facts again, in which whenever you have a condition with certain I always have the same result. Okay, so look at the example. If you leave eyes under the sun, that's a condition. I will always get this result. It doesn't matter of any other condition, but whenever I leave it under the sun, I always have this result. It would take more or less time, but it will always happen. If you pay attention to the structure, you would see that you have a verb in present simple and another verb in present simple. So you use present simple in both places. Remember that we use it for facts and natural facts, general truth, something that always happen. Okay, we call it zero conditional. Next, after zero, we have first conditional. We use it for possible things. What does possible mean? It means that with that condition, with certain condition, it's really likely means probable, to have that result. If we look at the example we have here, if I study hard, this is the condition, I have this result. Okay, so I consider when I say this sentence that it's possible for it to happen. If you look at the structure, you have here present simple, but here you have future simple. Other possibilities are instead of will, for example, can. Okay, and here in other sentence, I don't mean that you can use it this or the other and the change wouldn't mean. You would have imperative. Okay, remember that imperative means no subject. It's a command. Something like, go if I am late. Don't wait for me if I'm late. Something like that, okay? After 0 and first, we have second conditional. And second conditional, it's used for difficult things. Okay, so the same thing. Under certain condition, the result is difficult to happen. I have a difficult result to happen. Let's look at the example. Okay, if I won the lottery, that is the condition. So pay attention to it. I need winning the lottery. Okay, I need to win the lottery. I would buy a mansion. What are my chances of buying a mansion? Winning the lottery. Is that really possible? Well, possible it is, but it's really, really difficult to happen, okay? So, the result is difficult to get, okay? If you pay attention to the structure, you see here past simple, and here would with infinitive, okay? Good plus infinitive. It's always like that, okay? Another use that we can have with second conditional, it's to give advice, okay? To give advice. Usually it's like this. If I were you, I would pay attention. Okay, I'm giving an advice. I cannot be you, but in that imaginary situation, that's what I would do. Okay. If we have a look at third conditional, you have to pay attention to the fact that it's the only one that deals with the past. Okay, we're talking about something that happened. And the result is not satisfactory. So if I could change it now, I would do it differently, which is what it happened here. If I had studied condition, I would have passed without problems. That's the result. And I have a question to you. Did I pass without problems? Probably not. That's why now I think that I should have done it. Okay? It's talking about the past. If you pay attention to the structure, you see that here we have past perfect, and in the result we always have this structure, which is good plus have plus participle. Okay? And let's finally look at things that they have in common. They all have two parts. So you have things like, if I study, I will pass. You separate them with this, with comma. And I can have it the other way around. I can say, I will pass if I study. So here you write comma, here no comma. Okay, then you can have two different words to introduce them. We have if, which is a positive condition, and unless, which is a negative condition. We will say this with examples, with exercises in the class, because it's easier to understand, okay? And then, as you have seen in all the other slides, you always have a condition, which is introduced with if or unless, and you always have a result, okay? And that's all. I hope you understand everything, and if you have any doubts, we will see them in the class.